I had an experience yesterday that led me to finally and completely launch this channel. It is a channel that has been in the works for a minute. It is a channel that we intended to bring hope to people through our own experiences. I want to start off with the disclaimer. I'm not here in a professional capacity. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor, and I will in no way, shape, or form counsel or instruct you on anything that you have to do to have any impact on your situation. That is not what I am here for. I am here to simply share my testimony and share how I was able to overcome some of my situations. I will also link information, phone numbers, websites, anything to that nature that you may need for any given situation that the video is going to be about. Just wanted to throw the disclaimer out there. And the situation that I am talking about has to do with a talk that I had last night. And before I continue that, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mary. And I was scheduled yesterday to do a speaking because I do public speaking in rehabilitation centers. And what we did is I was having a conversation with my daughter-in-law. They were shopping at Walmart, and her, my son, and my grandson. And I mentioned to her that I was getting ready for my public speaking, and she mentioned it to my son, and my son said, I want to come. So we contacted the director that coordinates our speakings, and he said, sure, go ahead, have him there. Granted, my son had already spoken at the same rehab on the 2nd. So he just wanted to know, because this was a difficult, very difficult speaking for me, because I have never publicly spoken, completely opening and disclosing to people in front of my son. For those of you that are not familiar with it, because some of you may already know our story because we have talked about it before on other channels, he is a recovering drug addict, alcoholic, domestic abuser, and I am the mother of a recovering drug addict, alcoholic, domestic abuser. Have I ever stopped loving my son? No. Did I give up on him? Not entirely, but I had little faith in the changes that he could make. I didn't believe in any of his changes. Promises had been made so many times that the trust and faith was not there. And like I said, I will be bringing a lot of different topics. Most of them will revolve around our situation, and most of them involve different topics. This one that I'm talking about had me speaking to a group of men going through similar situations that my son was going through, and it was difficult for me because I was disclosing my feelings for the situation and for my son in front of my son. A lot of that is hurtful, not because I'm intending to hurt him, but because I am intending to help someone else. I had to speak on how broken his and my relationship was, because it was broken. I spoke, I'm not going to get off topic to other things. We talked about our travels, because he and I traveled every single Monday for almost 8 months to a different town, an hour and 20 minutes away. And we did that every single Monday. And for the first probably 3 months, it was the most heart-wrenching feeling ever, because we rode in silence. If he so much as opened his mouth, or I so much as opened my mouth to bring conversation, an argument was sure to happen. That is how broken we were. One day, he put a song, and that song, I will link the song down below in the description box. Listen to it. It is a song that gave me a little bit of insight on what my son was feeling, and started a conversation on a different nature with him and me. He and I began talking, and I did share this with these men, who some of them had tears in their eyes because I'm having to share with them my feelings about my son, and he's present. My feelings of anger, of disappointment, of lack of faith, lack of trust. I shared with these men the fact that I had left my son in jail for almost a year. Granted, 6 months of that year were actually spent in a rehabilitation center that he decided was necessary because they had recommended 30 days. He said 30 days is not going to be enough. Mom, I need 60 days, or I need 6 months, which he did. And as I'm sharing this with these men, I could see out of the corner of my eye, because my son was not there in the capacity of speaking. He was there listening. And I could see out of the corner of my eye that he had started crying. We both are crybabies. You can see that now. It sparked so much. I was not able to share completely everything that I normally do share because I would have not been able to continue. So I shared the most important things and didn't really go into how he got to where he got to, which in future videos, if you all join me, I promise you, you will get the full story eventually, and it will be in episodes completely. But for now, the focus is on that. Speak your truth. Always, always speak your truth. That day that I talked about, I told the men that were in that room last night, I told them that when my son put that song, it opened up a way of communication for him. I'm not going to say we were perfectly, and we're still not perfectly in harmony when we were speaking, but we were no longer arguing. We had a relaxing, peaceful drive there and a relaxing, peaceful drive back. Not a whole lot of conversation, but there was conversation without the argument. When he started opening up to me about everything that he had done, knowing full well that that is something that no mother ever wants to hear that their child is capable of doing, and he shared all of that with me. He shared the various drugs that he had used. He shared the various alcoholic binges that he had. He shared with me so many things that I was like, that could not have been my son. That's my child. He could not have done that. He did. And when he told me all of this, he told me, Mom, I'm sorry. And he apologized. And I mentioned this to these men. By then, I could see tears in many of their eyes. Because it was the start of a recovering relationship. His journey with the recovery part of alcoholism and drug addiction and domestic abuse is one that is already close to 5 years. We are looking at August being his 5th year completely 100% clean and sober. And when I say clean and sober, I mean he even thinks about what medication he's going to take if he has a cold. He doesn't take very many various medications. He won't take Tylenol. He won't take NyQuil because of the alcohol in it. He won't take certain medications because he's very conscious that it may have a setback for him. So he endures whatever illness he happens to go through without medication. He did the same with COVID. He experienced COVID through the same way. And that is a moment that I will always treasure, because I know if he's conscious enough not to make himself comfortable during an illness, he's making the right choices. And he's not only making them for himself, although himself is who he started out for, he's making it for his family. And with us sharing our testimony and our stories, it brings hope, which is what this channel is all about. It brings hope to other people. It lets them know they're not alone. There are resources out there. May not be as many as we would want there to be, but there are resources out there. There are people you can reach out to. I will link several numbers and websites down below in the description box so that you can reach out to someone. DM me, private message me. My email will be in the description box down below as well, so that you can reach out and get information that is necessary for your recovery if you are so happen to be recovering. We will also be talking about our experiences with depression, anxiety, anger, anything that has to do with mental health, wellness. We will be talking about it because we want to help as many people as we can, even though this is something that so many people would be so embarrassed about. I'm not ashamed of where we're at. I'm not ashamed to be the mother of a recovering alcoholic drug addict. And I am fully aware of the fact that that can turn south so fast. And the only thing we can do with that is take it one day at a time. One moment at a time, one situation at a time. There is a man that was interviewed, and I just saw the clip for that. And he was asked to give hope to people in 30 seconds or less. How would he help someone go through situations without too much damage? This man said, write everything down. Everything that you are experiencing, every situation possibly keeping you awake, having you anxious, having you nervous, having you not functioning properly on a daily basis, write every single thing down. Problem, situation, emotion, feeling, anything. Write it all down. Scratch off what you cannot fix in the moment or in the day. Scratch it off and focus on those that remain. The chances are there are 1 or 2 or 3. But you focus on that and not the bigger picture. You will get overwhelmed. You will not accomplish anything. One situation at a time, one day at a time, one triumph at a time. That is how life will function. That is the reality of life. And that is the positive way to look at it. One thing at a time will get you through. That is what started this channel, this journey that we had last night. We touched several lives last night. We were told the impact of seeing, they had heard him speak a few days ago, and I'm speaking last night, and they said it put it all together. Having heard his side and then having heard the other side, the side that is hurting for that addict, gave them a new perspective on the situation. And that is when I knew that we have to make it available for more people. And that is why I'm here. I will be bringing other people's testimonies, whether in video or just speaking about them. But I will be bringing additional testimonies on different sides, different topics. I hope you all will join me for that. And that is all that I have on this amazing, beautiful day. Y'all have a blessed one. And don't forget, hope has a partner, and it's called faith. So with faith and hope, and I know it's going to sound corny, you will always have love. Have a safe one. See y'all in the next video.